Hello there, I'm Nerdmax. Welcome back to Aston Martin. We're going to be continuing here. We'll be aiming at getting the last 3 races of the season done and the season finished itself. We are currently in a good position here. We're 7th with, well, 20-ish points to go to McLaren. 40 points up to AlphaTauri. We have a new underfloor. We had a decent result out last in Circuit of the Americas, but sadly Alonso got pummeled out. So we'll have to live with that. We have the Mexican Grand Prix in 4 days. We have a research for the Racing coming in as well. And after that, I think we're just going to pop in another Racing research and we'll focus a bit more on the minor pieces next season. We do actually have a slight concern here in terms of our money. Balance-wise, we make 2.8 million, which isn't really that much. It's decent, but not great. And with facilities now being upgraded, it's only going to go up. So we'll have to see exactly how we handle that, but it should be alright. With that said though, let us continue. Let's see here. We should have the race coming up right away. And once again here, I don't think we'll really do anything. We did renew Vettel's contract last time. He now has a 1.5 million when he comes first. So we're going to race Alonso hard to try and save money here and protect ourselves from having to pay out this too often. It'll be the goal at least. Other than that, I don't think there was anything else. We will be ready here for the Mexican Grand Prix. Again, I will not be doing anything guaranteed. I think we should... You know what? We can actually do some guarantees here. Q3, probably not, but at least one driver in top 15 shouldn't be a problem. One driver top 15 shouldn't be a problem. And there's just 3 races to go. What we could gamble on is, say, 1 driver, 3 races, 12th position or better. We're going to gamble on that for fun. We can probably do better, but it's more of a, what am I willing to risk? Let's go to Mexico. Welcome to the Mexican Grand Prix. We qualified 8th and 16th. Not the greatest of qualifying, but Alonso did a good job there. Now remember, they have equal cars, so it's just the pace stats basically that Vettel is a bit behind on. Compound performance here for this race is kind of interesting here. Mexico, 3/10 between soft and medium, but the soft grade 300s a lap quicker, so you'll get about 3-second lead by lap 10, and then you'll start falling off, purely based on tire. And excuse me, well, not a full 3 seconds, but between 2 and 3 seconds. Mediums are 5/10 quicker than the hards, but they have very similar degradation here, as you can see. 600s a lap versus 400s a lap, so the mediums will be the better choice than the hards. And here too, I dare say, we have a little bit of a problem with how the game expects the hard to work, because as you can see, a soft medium is supposedly 4 minutes slower than a medium hard medium, both of them being 2-stoppers. And as you can see here, we'll be running the mediums for, at this stint, would be 27 laps. So if we go back to our expectations here, 27 laps times 0.6, we'd lose about 27. Let me just do the math quick. Quickly did the math. So after 27 laps, the mediums would be about 1.62 seconds slower, and the hards would be about 1.08 seconds slower. So basically, it would take close to 27 laps for these tires to become equal in terms of pace. So I don't understand how the game expects the hard to be that much quicker than soft and a medium. I think it's just silly. But I think we are doing a decent choice by running the mediums like this. I think it's the best we can do. Unless we go for a medium to hard 1-stopper, I think this is the best strategy for us. We have 12th and 7th as the starting positions, and let's see how this goes.
The drivers. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexican Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out and away we go. We have Alonso here, already making moves at Bottas. Tires, basically everyone's starting on the mediums, so I'm expecting a lot of 1-stoppers here.
Doing a good job.
We'll see exactly how this plays out, but for now we have Bottas in front of us, Russell, Verstappen, and generally I'd say we're still in this position. We'll have to see just how hard these tires are that Alonso is running do degrade.
Great play there. They've moved up a place.
Also made a move on Russell. And Vettel is still down in 12th. 11 now, so very good.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled.
Thank you. We will go a little bit neutral here now with the DRS.
Looks like
We already
Aston Martin
have
just gained a race
two
position.
trains here basically been established. We have the first to 8th. We have the 9th to, well, 17th. But we'll have to see just how well this one runs, because potentially here, Alonso is now leaving behind
Looks like there's been a lock.
Bottas and company, and just sticking with the leaders here, which would be quite impressive if you can actually manage it. So let's deploy some ERS, try and get him close enough to get that DRS advantage. Even set the fastest lap, which is funny to me. But we are close enough now. Hopefully we can just keep on, again, latching onto them. That is the goal. And have their DRS pull us forwards, and that's gain a gap into the back of the pack. Once again, Vettel is kind of no man's land. Can't really do much for him. We'll just have to hope that he can make something work. Alonso has been detached here. It wasn't viable to really cling on for too long, I feel. Just how things are. We could, of course, burn a bit more fuel, potentially, but as you can see, we're already 5 seconds behind. We'll have to ask this second DRS train here to, I think, pull us along. I think that's the best we can hope for. Our tyres are going compared to the rest of the field right now. But now, 14 laps in, we are on worse tyres than the rest of the field. And we're going to hope that we can get something from the mediums is basically the goal here. Also now to the back of that DRS train, and even being left behind again. So let's push fuel. Let's deploy, and we want to try and have him just stay with them for until the pit stop. That will be the goal here. I'm thinking we get Alonso into pit this lap. That should be okay. Have him push everything on those tops on the in lap. Comes out here behind show. So not the best pit stop we ever done. Could probably have hoped for another lap, but kind of rough. Alonso is going to be pitting soon, but he had fresher tires, so he can go a little bit longer. Sorry, Alonso, Vettel, I mean. And he's making his way up. He's now into 8. And we're just going to do it optimally. Go attack, go push, and see if we can do some good work here before we pit. Get a little bit of a gap here for the rest of the field. We're out in front of Norris, which is good. And potentially, yeah, this fresh air could maybe help a little bit. We'll have to see. Did not get Hamilton with the pit stop, sadly. The rest of the track is potentially also going to start pitting now. They're going onto the hards. And we'll have to see just how much they get out of those hards, because Hamilton is now currently doing a good job on them. So it could just be that we have the wrong data from
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
From testing, if you will, because they're currently quicker than us by a decent margin. Then again, they do have a car that should be quicker than us as well, so it's not too big of a surprise. The show Bottas. Everyone in front of us now pitted, basically. Both our cars in the points. Can we make this work, though, with the two-stopper? That's going to be the challenge. Because if I'm not mistaken here, I either read the chart wrong and missed a number somewhere, or our practice hasn't showed the correct pace for the hards, which would be worrisome. And could explain why the hards are supposedly 4 minutes quicker than the mediums. We are slower than Bottas. We are quicker than the McLarens, at least. We are slower than a lot of cars, but also quicker, slower. It's kind of weird here. We're going a little bit up and down like a yo-yo. Just gonna run the tires normally for now. Once we get close to pit, we can start running them on attack. But it's doing faster lap than up. Is he
Romeo
he's also running in
just
fresh
moved up a
air.
place.
So it's a bit concerning, honestly. I'm wondering if the latest update broke the tires somewhat then too, or what is actually happening here. Let's get him onto the new set of mediums. They'll last to the end of the race, go full attack, go push.
Box.
And I don't think we'll get
Okay, box.
out ahead of Show and everyone. But we'll do the best we can here. We'll do the same for Vettel. And we'll see if he can make something
Looks
work
like
here.
Aston Martin have just
And as you can
gained a
see,
race
Alonso
position.
came out in 11th, but he should now have a huge tire advantage, in theory at least, from what we saw of the stats. Fresh medium should be at least a half a second quicker than the hards at equal. So we could expect at least Magnussen here to be quickly hunted down. I would at least hope so. And Vettel is down into 14th. Alonso is up into 10th. And we'll have to see here. There we go. He takes Gasly as well. Can he get Show? 20.9. He's now the quickest car on the track. Not fastest lap, mind you, but still pretty quick. Give him overtake. Get rid of Show. And Vettel here, how are you doing? Still in no man's land, but gonna have to work to catch up there. Alonso up into 8 now. Can we catch Russell? It's gonna be the big question. Probably not, if we need to fight Show at the same time. But I'd say it's still a good effort here. Russell is still running quite a bit quicker than us, even on those old hards. So I probably put too much focus into the tires themselves. We're gonna have to conserve it for Vettel. I forgot to tune him down, and he might actually run out of fuel. He probably will run out of fuel. But
Is that a lockup?
luckily, it seems like it'll be okay. Go back to balance, and hopefully, can take back the position from Gasly. Guess we should go a little bit aggressive here on these softs now, and maybe push fuel a little bit to secure 8th place. But still, the fact that the hards were actually this good is a bit surprising to me. Then again, as you can see here, Russell is on mediums as well, so is Hamilton. And we are burning these tires quite aggressively at the moment. So the goal here is very simple, just 8 for Alonso, and it should be doable, as you can see, by running aggressive.
Sounds like someone's
And
locked up.
I've been too careful maybe running aggressive. I'll be running some tests to see just how harsh is the tire degradation on aggressive, and how much do you gain from running aggressive versus, say, normal. So, lap time, a bit difficult to guess, but Vettel at 13th, not the best result for him. Alonso in 8 is still okay for us. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. And it's a result I can live with. Here we are, Ferrari 1-2, Red Bull 3-4, Mercedes 5 and 7th, Alfa Romeo 6th and 9th, Haas 10th, and we score 8th position with 4 points. That's good. Driver Championship, no changes, but we are catching up to Show with Alonso. Constructors, also no changes. Development point for Hauge, very good. Sadly not for our boys, but with the lower grip potential they have, can't really expect that. And we made a bit of extra money here from qualifying position streak and reached Q2. We had a man in Q3. What is... Alonso qualified 8th to begin with. That's a bit worrisome. It wouldn't give me my money. Rowing research has been completed. And with that, we're gonna, of course, start something new. We also have an ATR period starting today. So what we could do with this one is probably another, put the ATR into the rear wing. Simply because I don't think we'll have proper time to do an underfloor. It'll just take too long. We basically have 2 months left. So even doing a rear wing like this is going to be pushing it a bit. honestly. And as you can see, most of our expertise in the rear wing isn't actually realized in the car right now. More than about half of it is in potential research benefits. So next season, our car will be a lot better in terms of speed and acceleration potentially. So this is what we'll be going for. As you can see, 27% total gain here, 25% gain here, 30% gain here, high speed total, but we're going to lose 12. And then we have 58 shared with 2, 29% here, but we're going to lose 7.5%. Again, need to split this number in 2. So all in all, we're going to get quite a substantial gain on the rear wing here next season. And you can see it here too. It's not as good as the underfloor, but it's still quite decent. And again, here the goal will be to just finish as close to the deadline as possible. Get the most expertise out of it. We could do something like, say, take the airflow here, tune it down 1 day. And honestly, I think that will pay off better in terms of expertise gain for the entire team. We'll get 3 more days of research. It won't be a lot more. It'll be minimally more, but I feel like it's worth it. So we'll do that to maximize. And with that, we currently have projects for front wing. We have projects for rear wing, side pods. And as I said, this slot will be used to research the smaller projects right now. And we're happy with the underfloor that we have now into the next season, I think. Let us just get on with this. Car development report. As you can see, our car is better. It's not a lot better, but it is better. That is nice. It's still not good enough to routinely get 8, 6, 7 like we usually do. That is an interesting one to keep in mind. We're gonna wait with actually refurbishing the helipad here, because we can just refurbish it right before the Grand Prix in Bahrain. It's just 2 races left. And we'll not be able to, that 1% will not be too much of a problem. Suspension is cheap to manufacture, so we'll manufacture one to be safe. I can live with that. And again, we want to save money because we're going to need some money for engine supply next season. And we're going to need some money for the project that we're going to do in the, well, the downtime, if you will. The 3 months before the first race starts. So we need to have money there so we can actually make the pieces that we want. So we're gonna gamble on reaching Q2 here with 1 driver. Vettel didn't actually make it into Q2 last time. And qualifying position of top 10 for 1 of our drivers. We're just gonna go all in with that gamble. 1 driver in the top 10 again. Well, top 12 last time, top 10 this time. And we're gonna try and get a little bit of extra money for the start of next season. With that, we're off to Sao Paulo. We are ready for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We qualified 12th and 16th. Some of this is the other teams getting better, well, cars, but I think the main part is that our engines are starting to wear pretty low with around the 60% mark. Bell is currently running an ERS with minor damage. And seeing it is just 2 races left, I'm thinking that we're going to be cheap here. We're not going to invest in new engines, we're not going to invest in new ERSs, and we're just going to take the L, if you will, in these 2 last races and save money for next season, because a new engine and a new ERS for both of them would be 4 million, which is incidentally the price of a new underfloor at the start of the next season, if you will. So as you see, qualifying didn't go great. Compound performance for this race is actually quite interesting. The mediums and the hards are about equal, so there's really no reason to run the mediums if you look at it from that perspective, honestly. So we'll have to see what we do with that. Softs though are 3/10 quicker than mediums, and they have 300s different in degradation. So softs here, although degrading quickly, could be something that we will play around with a little bit. And I had some comment on the last video about why I didn't push tires. And honestly, it's probably a little bit because I'm afraid of pushing tires. They seem to drop off pretty harsh in pace, but that could just be, you know, me running a car that isn't suited for it, and as such I might be a little bit too cowardly to test things out to some degree. But I think that we do something a little bit different today. We don't have 2 sets of hards for our drivers. I should probably have remembered that hards are good here, and done that final practice manually to save a set of hards. But we're gonna do, I think, for both here, try the soft, hard to medium, and see if we can make up some places on the soft. And I think this should be a good strategy. We'll get to test basically everything out. We'll be going overtake from the beginning. But yeah, I've been a bit lazy on time management the last couple of videos, mainly because we are where we want to be this season. And I'm trying to, to some degree, power through it. But also because I honestly am afraid that if we push tires and it doesn't work, we're just going to fall completely out of the points.
It's a bit... And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out, and away we go. So Alonso started 10th, Vettel 14th due to penalties. So let's see if Alonso can make something work. Every single other car here, except for Albon, is running the mediums. So this could be an interesting one in terms of just tire choices. But we'll speed things along here and see what happens. Hopefully we can have some moves happening pretty early here. Alonso is currently fighting Russell a little bit back and forth. Struggling a bit to get him. Vettel locked up.
Looks like Aston Martin
And
have just gained a race position.
this is just the ERS damage. As you can see, 60% on the engine. So we're going to have him live with that shitty engine, sadly. Just because, as I said, we don't want to invest a lot of money into a part that we'll only use for, well, 2 races. We'll rather use that to invest into next season, because we will not move up or down unless something particularly special happens, like McLaren winning a race. So I'm happy with the current situation. We are going to have to harvest some this next lap though, so we'll just put him on harvest right away. And if we can get Ocon, that would be great. Let's go neutral. And Ocon was all the way over on the grass, so for now though I think it's okay. We will be with Show here. I don't know if he will be able to catch up to Bottas, Verstappen, and the rest of them, but I would assume that Show can catch up to Bottas. They have the same car, although Bottas is probably the better driver. I don't even actually know Bottas' pace stats now that I think about it. Alonso is aggressive here, trying to make moves at least, but it's probably a bit difficult. Gonna charge that ERS a bit and see if we can make it up to 8th place, potentially 7th here. And Vettel will just have to see what he does in the back here. He's kind of screwed with lockups, kind of screwed with you know, giving him the... He has a bad ERS, should probably give him a new one. And it's kind of hard to actually harvest ERS on this track.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Russell overtakes us, which isn't that bad really. Kind of what you'd expect. We have a really good underfloor, but that's also all we really have. So for now, we're gonna allow things to progress like this. We might push a little bit here. Vettel has taken Latifi at least. Alonso's actually kind of fallen behind, so let's push. Let's go a little bit aggressive on the tires here, just to close the gap.
Car in the wall. Yeah.
Car in the wall. Is this going to be a Denoda in the wall? Not going to be a safety car? So,
sounds like a single car.
Denoda crash. Love to see what Alonso does, because again, we have put a lot of our effort into ooh, okay, not the greatest pits, but yeah, we'll have to see what we do here, because again, I think the focus should be next season. We're gonna go aggressive here. Let's just burn out this stint now.
Who's running wide there?
Leclerc has run wide, but that shouldn't be the crash on the track.
I think that was a crash.
Ricciardo.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now look
Ricciardo.
at this. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Wow, he really went spin to win, didn't he? I don't think I've seen any like cars spin that much in this game. Yeah, degradation of these tires are really not helping us right now at lap 14. This is when we're no longer competitive, but we're going to push them aggressively here towards the end of the stint. We're going to have to do that because, again, as you can see, both of these tires will basically be run to the ground. So I'm a bit curious what the rest of the track is going to, or field is going to do here. Are they actually going to go for the one stopper? That's what I'm curious about, really. Alonso will be given one more lap here. It'll still not be great in terms of lap times, but I'd say running aggressive could actually be viable. I'll have to do a test on that, really. I have been testing a little bit, but I don't know exactly how different the tire wear is, and that is what we need to have a look at, I think. So, lost a little bit there due to the tires going over the edge. So let's get, hopefully, Vettel in here as well. Good. We've gotten our pit stops done. We need to tune down the tires a bit so that they don't get burnt too quickly. We can run standard here. And I guess we can run aggressive when we need to catch up or get some moves made. For example, Alonso now on the Williams, but he made it work. ARS playing up. Yes. That's because it's low on durability.
We've had a crash.
Bottas has actually crashed. Okay.
Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one.
Luckily for him, it's a light hit, but I don't know if he got some rear wing damage there too. Kinda looks like it. I'd love the first set of pit stops here. It's down in 19th, Alonso 15th. And we'll have to see it now if we take someone during the pit stops. And we did. But the thing is that we're going to pit again. For the most part, Ricardo will need to hit Schumacher, Sainz show Russell. And the big one here is, can we get Russell on the pit here? Probably not, maybe? Just barely? Okay, so the pit worked, but as I said, I don't know if these guys are gonna go for trying to make their tires last to the end. I don't think so. And degradation wise, we're actually pretty good now, so that
Is that a lockup?
That soft stint to begin with actually worked, but Bottas is still ahead of us even with going into the wall. That's impressive. Sadly, Vettel is not having a good race. He's already 20 seconds behind us. So,
I think there's been a lockup.
Again, not much we can do about that. He has a worse wear car. His engine has a little bit more wear. The RS has a lot more wear. But he's currently fighting Albon. Russell has overtaken Alonso. So the only goal that we want here is to really just hang on to Russell. Use the DRS to keep up with them. And have him pull us up the field, really. Will be the strategy. Vettel will again just be kind of left to his own devices here because his car is just not competitive enough right now. Once we give him a better car, we can start to micromanage him a bit more. Now, in terms of lap times here, we are actually slower than Bottas, as you can see, probably due to essentially defending. But I guess Bottas is being dragged along by... No, he's actually driving solo, so don't even have DRS here to really complain with to catch him. Crash on track.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
Who crashed? Norris, by the looks of things.
There's been a crash. Let's take a closer look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. Goodness, no.
That was a pretty rough hit. But yeah, currently we're looking good here. We'll probably try and undercut Russell again. Like, we'll push a little bit aggressively towards the end of the stint. See if we can get a little bit of a gap. And then potentially pit and get an advantage again. Because we did get an advantage in that first pit stop. Sainz is pitting. So the medium runners will soon pit. And they will be pitting onto hards by the looks of things. Russell is pitting. Let's go aggressive here to the end. So that we can hopefully keep Russell at bay. And we'll just copy it for Vettel. See if he can make something work for him. And in terms of times here now, 114 versus 112.1. So Russell probably already has to jump on us, and he went to the hards, who's just... We just can't keep it up. We could go full... Excuse me. We could go full attack here, which I think we'll do. We'll also push some fuel. And we'll try and get onto the medium a bit sooner than we really want to see if we can get that. Russell, we're estimated to come out behind Gasly at this current stage. So we'll have to see what we do here, because in terms of time, Magnussen is slightly slower, Show is slightly faster, Ocon is equivalent. And most of the people behind us are quicker, so I think we have to just pit a bit early, maybe. Take a bit of a risk. So we're going to push all the way in here. Should have pushed a bit earlier once we realized what's going on. Magnussen has hit the wall. Alonso comes out. Actually... Oh, crashing multiple cars. Did Magnus actually touch someone before he went out? Oh, we did. I didn't realize both the cars went out. So as you can see, we're actually in a bit of an interesting position right now, because we have what I believe to be a Red Bull on our inside, and we're about to get lapped here, I think, by Verstappen. Yep. So that is a bit interesting. But once we get out of the pits here now, I would assume that we are in a position where we are ahead of Russell.
Seems to have been a lockup.
As you can see. I don't think if we can overtake Verstappen though, but if we can stay with him, that would be great. Is that Verstappen or is that Perez? No, that is Verstappen. But yeah, we're gonna try and get to the end on these mediums, and that will be the goal. And as you can see, we can drive alongside, but we cannot overtake, which is actually bugging us down quite a bit right now. Because I believe we are quicker, it's just we aren't allowed to overtake, which will allow Russell to actually catch up to us. So hopefully Verstappen pits sometime soon. But yeah, that is a bit scuffed. Now Russell was allowed to get into DRS range due to really just us not being allowed to overtake a slower front-running car, basically. But with this, we will be fighting Russell here to the end, I think. We are up into 7th place, which is a good position. Vettel has done his final pit stop, out in 17th. And in front of us, no one else is going to pit, really. So that's just how things are. Vettel will have to run like this towards the end.
I think we've had a car run wide.
And that said, we will probably keep this fight up with Russell until the end of this race. We do have enough speed to keep up with him. We will actually end up with the worse for wear tire due to the mediums and the hards being so close to each other. But even if we push everything we have right now, we will not be able to get away from Russell. It just will not happen.
Oh, we've had a spin.
So we'll have to fight him on the last couple of laps, really. Which is unfortunate, but just the way things are. Yeah, we also have Verstappen coming up to... Oh, never mind. Once again, we have a race ruined here by major, minor. We could continue here, but it's again, we need to make it to the pit stop, and we don't really have any good tires for this, honestly. Well, we have another set of mediums, so we're actually good. Mediums, get on the extra front wing. Let's go. Let's see how far back Alonso will end up here due to the puncture, for one.
They've crashed out.
Was this that he has punctured? Back right. Can we actually see that? See it from show's angle? Nope.
Okay.
So So yeah, we're gonna be losing out a lot here. As you can see, we're actually holding up a lot of people as well due to this. And almost all the way to the back of the pack. That's a shame. We had a good race until that. It's just how things are. The chassis and the suspension, though, not the great thing to have happen so late into the race. But let's just push these tires full on attack. See if we can get Albon maybe.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
A bit of a shame here, really, that Alonso has now 2 races in not a row, really, but almost. It happened at Coda, happened here, that he just ends out outside of the points due to not really outside of his control, but close to being outside of his control.
Over the finish line, and today's winner.
And that's just how that's just racing how it is, though. Let's see here. Red Bull 1-3, Ferrari 2-4, Mercedes 5-7, Alpine 8, Alfa Romeo 6 and 9th, and then we have Alpha Tauri finishing off the points, which means we are virtually safe. Let's got to sync for Haas though, 11 and 12th, just outside points. And in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we have no changes. Constructors, no changes here. And even with the points that we could have gotten from this race, we wouldn't really have moved up or down. And that's also the reason why I'm not too try-hardy during the races with the tuning of settings. We might do that a bit later, but not right now. No real development. We do lose money here due to, you know, the finish position failure, qualifying failure, position streak failure. So that's on me. I had a hope there. We would have gotten 2 of them done had it not been for Alonso's little accident, but that stuff happens, can't really blame him. Weather center has been upgraded. There we are. And what else do we want to do? I don't think we really have anything in particular. We have development for Hauge. Gonna go straight into reactions. Need to get that up. And he also leveled up his overall to 71. Now, ERS in poor condition here for Vettel is just something that he's going to have to live with. We have one more race this season, which we are gonna be saving money because we have the engine. I'm not sure what engine we'll go with. I think Red Bull, as usual, it's just more power. And managing the engine and parts isn't really that difficult. Taking 1 penalty or 2 penalties a season is completely viable, I feel like, a way of doing things. So that's my thoughts on that. Side pod research finished. We're going to get research on suspension going. Again, we need to also research some of these smaller parts. You won't get a lot of, as you can see, expertise from this, but it's a little bit and it helps. And that is really the goal. And we can start focusing a bit harder, potentially next season. We're going to be putting 6 engineers on this because we can. I don't know if this will be enough time to actually get another project out. So maybe what we do instead is do the side pods maybe. And we put the focus all in like so. How we're looking for end time. January, December, there we are. And we could potentially do this. How much would that be? 0.5 percentage point. I'd say we do this. It's fine. We could try and get a little bit of cooling here because, again, cooling might actually have an effect on engine wear. So we might want to actually up that a little bit. But then again, I don't think that makes sense if you think about how... If you consider the AI, how many penalties they take, how much wear there is on their engines. Then again, they don't probably wear the engines down to 20%, 0% like we do in practice. But even if they go 20%, they still take a lot of penalties. They might need to have a look into that. But we'll do side pods there. And that should actually be all the projects that we'll have time for this season. And with that, we can just speed along here to the final race in 2 days. Over in Abu Dhabi. So again... We'll not do any performance targets here. We're in that very weird spot with our car, I feel. So we have a little bit of money. We'll get 3-4 million probably at the end of this race anyways. And that should be enough to tide us over into next season. And also hopefully enough that we can get the research we want for next season. Sorry, the signs going for next season, which would be the underfloor, the front wing, and then probably the 3 smaller parts as well. With that said though, let's go to Abu Dhabi. Welcome to Abu Dhabi. We qualified 10th and 16th. Not the worst qualifying we've ever done, but not great either. The expected strategies are one soft, medium to hard, or soft, hard, medium, medium, hard, medium. Now, in terms of performance here, the softs are actually pretty good. They are 3.5 tenths quicker than the mediums. They degrade 300, sorry, quicker. So the softs could actually be a potentially good chance if you're trying to do a 2-stopper. Mediums to hards though is just 2 tenths, but at the same time the hards degrade 400 slower than the mediums, so probably hards would do better here than medium in all honesty. I'm thinking we do one where we do all the compounds basically for fun. Now the other ones here look like they should be, you know, around the same amount of time, so I think we do softs here. See if we can make our way a little bit up the timesheet. And as you can see here for Alonso, that is going to be a bit more challenging because he starts on damage softs, if you will, because of being in Q3. And we could still make this work, but we could also just put him on to the medium, hard, medium, which should also work pretty well. And we're just going to get on the hards a bit sooner, burn down the excess medium, get on the hard, and then we can probably make this work pretty well. We'll have them on split strategies, see how that plays out for us. Now, there has actually been a penalty in play here because Vettel has moved up to 15th. And I should also note that Vettel in practice destroyed another chassis and another underfloor. So I'm starting to feel like Steiner and Mick, to be honest, but Schumacher has done well. I feel like he should retain his spot.
It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Here we are, Alonso in 10th. In terms of tyres, some people are gambling on the softs, Gasly among them. Got overtaken on the start though.
You are joking.
Vettel is going a little bit up and down, as it can do in the beginning. So,
like
yeah,
we'll
have to see how this race plays out. Should be an interesting one to some degree. But it's also the last race of the season. We, again, unless McLaren straight up wins this race, they won't really be a threat to us. Alonso, even though we took one. And do we want to try and push these mediums? Push a little bit on everything, really, to try and get up to Russell, Bottas, and that gang. We'd have to do it now, but I just don't think we'll have enough speed. And as you can see, 3 of them are on the softs, so they'll have to pit early. So I think we'll just leave it as this. Vettel is up into 14th. He is behind Ricciardo. Someone had a spinner, Hamilton.
McLaren gain a position.
Either that or a crash, I'm a little bit unsure. Looks like just a spinner or a lockup.
We've just had a spin.
Yeah, Hamilton spin. And Vettel is up to 14th. Can probably make his way up a little bit further here, but
position gains for AlphaTauri.
for now it looks okay. We're just going to leave things as they are, speed things up a little bit. Alonso will be fighting again Norris. They'll be having their own little party for 7th and 8th. But I don't think I'll interfere too much. We could micromanage Vettel, but I feel like just running him as he is now is okay too.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
As you can see, the 2 Red Bull Ferrari pairs are pretty close to each other, although it does look like one of them is quicker than the other. Let's go aggressive now. The pit window open. Just burn out the rest of these softs here for Vettel. And we can also do the same here for Alonso. Just burn out as much as we can. And then we will go full attack on, you know, the pit lap itself. So for now, I think we're going to go full attack for both of them, really.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Gonna allow Alonso to get full attack for one more lap, and then we're gonna get him into the pits here. But last pitted came out last actually. That's not good. But on the other hand, everyone in front of him actually has pitted, so yeah, he lost out there, which probably means Alonso's gonna lose out a bit more, unfortunately. But that's just how things roll here. Alonso comes out in 12th, and in front of him, only Russell and Bottas is actually pitted, so potentially here, he would still make this work. So let's keep pushing fuel. Let's go a little bit aggressive, get some heat in those tires. And we'll tune it down now after the outlap to standard again. We could also, you know what, we're going to go aggressive, we're going to go deploy, and we're going to at least get up to Bottas here so we can appreciate some of that DRS. I feel like that is worth it as in terms of sacrifice. It'll just help pull us along and make sure that we stick with, at the very least, with Norris. Vettel is doing well. He got past both Williams. See how far he can get up. Alonso is now up into 6th here. So, has done well with that pit stop, really. Now fighting Bottas, and Norris has been left behind here. So, I say that's fair. Gonna have to go down on fuel here, though, before I forget.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And we could potentially do something here with... we have a safety car? Okay. Let's go straight onto harvest here for... We're gonna be one more lap before safety car comes out, yeah. Should still be okay to just go harvest.
No DRS.
I don't know if doing harvest for Vettel will do any good, because he's just so far back. It should be okay. Ocon has crashed on turn 6.
Okay, so there we have the Alpine. That crash is terrible.
Lock up and set hard to the wall. That's an ouchie. At least we got some fuel back for Alonso now. Vettel also has some, and this is actually good for Vettel. Now we can actually try and make moves. In terms of the tires around us, they are better for the most part. And I assume that those that have just pitted and have 90 plus might actually try and make those last at the end of the race, is what I would estimate. So we'll have to see how that plan goes, but we'll try and have a decent safety car restart here. We have a little bit of extra tire to play with, so gamble on what I was advised to do with just aggressive push, overtake, aggressive push, overtake, and we'll see how we do here now on the restart. Can Alonso get further up than 6th, or will he end up falling down the pack? Really, gonna be the big one. Battle 15th. Got Gasly by looks of things. Yeah, it does look like Alonso will be able to do too much here.
They've moved up a place.
Maybe here? Potentially? Not really. Getting past Russell and actually getting up behind Perez would be... That would actually be amazing. So, let's gamble on pushing a little bit further here. At least until we're out of ERS, maybe. Track rubber is still low. The grip is high, so we're still good. Let's see what Vettel does here. Still working. Let's speed things up a little bit here. Alonso got Russell. Now the big question is, can he hunt down? It's just too much of a gap, really.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled.
So we'll go back to balanced. Live life as is. And for Vettel here, we're going to allow him to try a little bit more. We need him to get up to the back of
it's a race
cars in front.
Gained for Mercedes.
Gonna go standard though. He still has fuel to burn. So we're gonna allow him to burn a little bit extra fuel here. Go back to neutral. And again, for Alonso, it's just stay behind Russell. That is a okay position to be in. If we could have, of course, linked with one of these trains, that would be the best. But just not doable for us here. You also probably need to pit again. As that be, which is gonna actually hurt us with that safety car. Now, if we try and stretch, would it work? Probably not. It could. I find this funny. Running conserve is theoretically quite quicker than what we're doing. How much lap time do I lose by running conserve? We're gonna try for just one lap here and see how.
Looks like Aston Martin,
Because we are really pulling back compared to cars in front. I would assume Russell is gonna overtake us here, no problem, and even Bottas. So yeah, that's not a viable one. Look at that gap just from one straight. Yeah, we're gonna have to pit again. It's just how things are with this strategy. And by the looks of things, so will probably the rest too, unless they are planning to run conservative. So still not in a super bad spot. We can still make this work. And we're just gonna use battle here as our warning, if you will, for when we should pit. We're gonna go aggressive here for Alonso. Gonna see if we can make a move or two. And we will be pushing here, both our drivers, and we will be pitting this lap to counter the other teams. Really, we don't really have ERS to deploy, so we can just burn fuel and we can just push.
Everything you can, mate. Copy.
Did I not set up a pit stop for Alonso? Clearly, I did not. Vettel came out in 15th, which isn't the worst position to, you know, come out in. Alonso, due to my screw up here, came out in 11th. And we'll have to see here if the top 7 actually ends up pitting or not. That's going to be the big one. And we are going to go a bit aggressive here. We are currently on attack, which is why this does not really reflect what you could expect. Balanced on fuel. 14 laps to go. Sorry, not 14, 15. Or rather, it was 16. So, if Alonso can close down, that would be great, but I don't know how we're looking for lap times here. 28 versus 30. So, potentially can make this work, especially on aggressive. How will the tires look with aggressive here towards the end? Just barely making it. Yeah, we might need to tune it down to standard here a little bit. And then just push for the last few laps. We are getting close to the cars in front though, so that's what I'm thinking. We use standard to catch up, and then the last laps will give him everything to push with.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
We might have a bit too few laps here to play with though.
Who's running wide there? Alfa Romeo.
Vettel is making his way up though, so that is good. 6 laps to go. We are getting up to the back here of the cars in front. I say this is the moment. Go aggressive, push fuel, give overtake, and just see what we can do here. Up into the points again. Can we keep up with Show? Maybe get him as well. We did. But now that we're going to keep things as are, see if we can get Bottas and Norris as well potentially. 2 laps to go. This looks
Someone spun out.
doesn't look like we'll be able to get them, sadly. Should have pitted a bit earlier. Give everything here on your...
Push now.
Are you on your last lap? Yes. Push everything. I don't think we'll get them, but we do have a gap to the opposition behind. Vettel in 14th. Could probably have gotten Schumacher too if I'd focused on him, but again, it's just fair result really. We could have done better here. If I'd done the pit stops a bit better. Strategy was a bit off. That's on me. But a good race, all things considered. Verstappen and Perez 1-4, Ferrari 2-3, Mercedes 5-6, McLaren 7th, Alfa Romeo 8, we were 9th, and Haas in 10th. Sebastian Vettel 14th. Alpine actually at the end. Yeah, of course he crashed out. That makes sense. Ferrari Championship, we have no changes, which means Alonso, well, we have changes down here. Norris moves up, but Vettel finishes in 15th, Alonso in 11th. And for the first season here, we end up 7th, which isn't really where we wanted to end. We wanted to end a bit lower. We deliberately played it slow by doing research instead of design. But I still think this was a good season, all things considered. Sponsorships, a little bit extra money here from the qualifying position streak, the one that we didn't sign up for, but it's still extra money, so we'll take it. With that, all races of the season have finished. We just have some other matters administrative matters to handle. We have 15 million so far. We'll get some more millions from the monthly budgets, if you will, rising through the ranks on behalf of the board. I wanted to wish you an enthusiastic congratulations for your recent constructors finish. It is wonderful to see Aston Martin rising up through the ranks. Needless to say, this has given us a great boost in confidence regarding your abilities as team principal. We're happy to have you on board. Let's hope that we can keep this going next season. The board review, high confidence. Yes, the high confidence. Ian Gregg actually has points for us. We should probably switch him out next season, to be honest. Gonna give us a bit of a boost. He does have a fairly long contract though, and we do pay him a fairly high salary, all things considered. But we'll have to see how next season plays out with what we hire and what we do not hire. Part development is now locked. Can't assign new parts. Makes sense. And Michael Loom. Oh, I thought that was the headline for a second. The season results. Ferrari 1-2 in the championship. Verstappen 3rd with Perez 4th. Ferrari beating Red Bull by almost 200 points. Mercedes 3rd here with the 300. So, kind of what you expected, really. Williams with no points. Haas with 18. Baron with 28. Us with 47 is probably unexpected, to be fair. And the board was very happy with the result in Yas Marina Circuit. We did not score points in 50% of the season races, but that is for 24. So we have still 2 seasons to get it done. No worries there. We actually lost team rating. Okay. It would seem that by my team rating from drivers, I didn't realize Stroll was this highly rated by the everythings. I haven't actually handled pit crew too much this season, which we should probably fix. We are losing some pit performance, but that's just how things are. Can live with that. Regulation changes is cost cap and of course the technical specification for the front and rear wing, which could actually help us out a bit. Safety sim has been completely upgraded. Good. Staff changes. We have all the staff is staying with us. Don't need to worry about that. Drivers are also all staying with us. Don't need to worry about that. And the CFD sim upgrade has been completed. So everything's looking good. Let's just continue to the end of December. And we should have all 3 projects finishing here at once, really. Which would be interesting. There we are. Sidepod project has finished. Idle engineers. Well, that's on purpose. Boardroom import condition. Again, this is one of the things I don't really am too worried about. The team attractiveness, race confidence gain. It's nice to have, but not critical. So I can live with that. Gain a little bit here, as you can see. A little bit in cooling, drag reduction, and airflow front and airflow middle. Airflow middle. Front wing and rear wing should now be coming through. And with that, we should have a fairly decent car in terms of expectations for next year. Drag reduction is 70% now for the rear one. So it's looking good. These are stats though. I believe I still have, it's not my expertise. My expertise should be a little bit lower, honestly. But we'll have to see here also in terms of what staff could potentially be willing to move to us here. As you can see, currently we have Resta here, potentially, who isn't actually a bad choice, and he is a free agent. I should have scouted you, really, but I wonder if you are better. We'll consider that at the start of the next episode. But we do have, let's see here, Tondi. This man is open to negotiations. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna break the bank, I think. I think we'll pick up Resta and Tondi next time because he's open to negotiations. So as you can see, unless you're planning to poach from other teams, team attractiveness, not really a big concern. And what we could also have a look at here, if we really want to, out of curiosity, is drivers. Do we have any drivers here? Gasly is a free agent. It could potentially be picked up. I don't really know his stats, but I think it'd be a good choice for most teams. So yeah, at the end of the season, you can have some really funny and honestly hilarious interactions here. We can push out our technical chief here, who's 78, with Tondi, who is 91 average, which would boost all assets of a car quite significantly. We can also get our head of aerodynamics, 65 for Resta, which is 81. So, or is it the other way around? I think they're the other way around. Technical chief, let's just check here. They are the other way around. Resta as technical chief and Tondi as aerodynamics it's still 65 to 91. You can imagine the upgrade itself. So we will try and snatch this man at the start of next season. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. There will be a stream on Friday or later today, maybe even Saturday and Sunday, so keep an eye out for them. I'll be streaming it on YouTube just to make things easy, have everything in one place. The VODs will be available at the end of the streams. I'll have them on my channel. Plan is to stream some the McLaren run that I promised, but never didn't really get to. Been focusing a bit too much here on Aston Martin, but also Williams. I was thinking that Williams was probably at close to the end, but it just keeps them coming back to me with more things we can do. So that's that really. But again, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I do hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.